To see you again. Okay, so let me give a quick introduction. Mr. Khalid Noor he's talking about strategic capital allocation, maximizing shareholder value through disciplined investment in strategic priorities. Khalid Noor is a seasoned finance and basically he's a CFO. He's a CFO and a HR strategy leader with more than 3 decades, maybe 4 decades of experience. He worked as a CFO in Novartis, Unilever, and other large organizations. His experience spans finance, strategy, HR, and transformations. Okay. So, would like to hear more from you, Khalid Saab. Okay, so you can just give briefing about you, and then we are running late by 15 minutes, so take your time.
Right.
No.
So I'll just share my screen and then start. Thank
Yeah.
you very much.
There is some confusion. Just share the button,
I,
then you
yeah,
will
I
see the
did.
windows. Yeah.
And I've got the entire, I selected the entire screen.
Entire selection has some problem. So select the
Okay,
first one and select appropriate one. That's better.
right. Okay, let me open this.
So if you put a presentation, your lecture, your PPT in a presentation mode, okay, and then you use Alt Tab. If you are using Windows, go to Restream and select the presentation mode window. So that is the best way.
Right. I'm trying to open the presentation file. Let's see.
I have the PDF.
It's not displaying.
Did you select the file? Are you selecting in PDF or PPT?
Either. I've got both opened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can select anyone.
Select a tab to
One of them.
share. Praveen,
Share the button.
LinkedIn.
Press share. You have Windows. Just take the left one. That is a better one. You will find all open windows. Okay. Are you in Mac or Windows?
Windows.
Okay, so it should work.
I'm not able to see the files on the shared window.
No,
So files
when
are open.
you
The files are open.
when you share it, okay, it will directly take you to your control to your laptop. So choose. It's a Microsoft Edge tab, Windows, entire screen. There are three options. Okay,
Yeah, are you able to see my screen?
1 minute. Yeah. Screen is seen. Yes.
Okay.
Gmail. Gmail is seen.
Sorry, are you able to see the screen?
Yeah, I'm seeing, but it is in the Gmail.
It's in
Gmail,
what?
Gmail, mailbox window, not the PPT.
Okay, so
So while selecting it, select the proper file.
right, I'll just close Gmail. Is the file available? Are you able to see the screen?
Not yet, sir.
No?
No.
Okay, let me check
You
again.
you want me to share it? for you if you want.
Yes, please.
So I have a PDF open. I can share it if you would like.
All right.
Okay. Sorry. Very tricky. Let me fix the screen and then share. It is not user friendly actually. So if you share it and see the window, so you can
Okay.
see.
Let me
Yeah.
try again.
Try
Let me
if
try.
you want. Try you can try. It will come. Share it. Click on share. Go to window.
Right.
So if you see that file open, your file should be open by the way.
Okay. Can you see the screen now?
No. If your file is open and in extended mode, then only you can see that. Yeah. Now I see the PPT, not in the presentation. Oh, it's gone again. Yeah. It's in
I've got it in. Yeah, I've
normal
got it.
mode.
Yeah, but in my screen, it's in presentation mode.
No, sir. No.
So,
So this is a challenge. Click on it. Let us see. No. No, that window, you have to reshare the window. If you can go to Alt tab, just keep it
right.
in presentation mode. Okay. Keep it in the presentation mode and use Alt and tab. So you go to the restream window and then share
Hang
it.
on. Hang on. Where is that?
Did you keep the presentation in? Okay, now once the moment you keep it presentation, you cannot see it. Yeah.
Is it better?
No, sir, not it. Okay.
So,
Now I
okay.
see normal PPT in standard mode.
Right. In my screen, it's in presentation mode, but let me zoom it a bit then.
Um, if you want, I can share your PDF also. It's
Okay,
up to
let's try the PDF file.
you. Okay.
The PDF file is open.
You want me to share it?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I'll do that. Don't worry. I'll do that. Why it is asking again? Are you able to see the screen now?
No,
No, I
it's
hid
come.
it.
Yes, it's coming. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, then I can start. Thank you.
Yeah, Praveen, let me know if the screen size is okay or not.
Praveen,
Yeah, sure, sir. It is visible.
it's visible, right?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Right. So you will change the slides.
Yeah, I will just say next. I will change it.
Okay. Thank you, Abdul Qadir. It's a great privilege to come and speak to you on this Global Summit platform. And congratulations to all the speakers who uh, have presented very good papers. I'm especially indebted to Mihai, who's just spoken. He's revised my entire course that I did it with him, and I thoroughly corrected my presentation um, so that I don't get. So it's great privilege. Thank you. So today's topic is all about strategic capital allocation. So you may have the best strategy, but if you are not to achieve it, then the strategy will fail. So this is all about selecting the right strategic projects and then actually funding them, how to evaluate them, how to rank them. So this is today's agenda. Next slide, please. So today's the flow of the presentation is that I'm going to be talking about the strategic capital allocation. What are the methods for ranking and prioritizing strategic projects? What are the key project evaluation criteria? What are the various sources of financing? What is the role of board in approving the strategic capital allocation? And then post in implementation, what are we have to continuously monitor and review. Most of the large projects go more than 1 year, a couple of years. So if you're making a major investment in a industrial setup, then it can go into more than 1 year. And therefore, you need to continuously monitor whether you are within the budget or you're outside budget. Next slide, please. So this is the strategic capital allocation process, and I am now aligned with Mihai. So the first step in strategy is to scan for business paramount challenges and opportunities that are available. So because the business is ongoing and the external world is changing all the time. I mean, for example, the U.S. President Trump has just imposed tariff across the world, and it has really impacted a lot of business. So you need to keep reviewing the external situation. What are the current challenges? So the best practice is to do is to have a quarterly review, unless if something major comes up, is to do a quarterly review of the business environment and see what new challenges are coming or what new opportunities are coming. The second step is to make strategic choices and to generate project ideas to overcome these challenges and also to achieve the opportunities that are available in the market. The third is to identify some of the capabilities gap that Mihai talked about um, to achieve those strategic objectives and how to deliver a superior customer value proposition. So you need to see that what is your strategic objective and what are the current gaps in your capabilities gap in terms of facility, in terms of capacity, in terms of know-how. Um, so you need to identify them, and then you make a list of these capability gaps or investment opportunities. And then next step is to evaluate available projects that deliver the strategic customer value proposition. And then after the evaluation, you prioritize them and you select projects. The next step is to funding and executing the project, whereby you arrange funds, and I'll be talking about the various sources of funds. These funds could be internal, these funds could be external. And after that, the you actually sorry one step is that you first take the approval of the board and then you start funding, and after executing the project you monitor and review again, and then also adjust, and then uh, it's a continuous process. Then you actually reprioritize and reallocate your budgets, capital budget. So you do an annual budget cycle, but in case a new challenge or a new opportunity arises, you can then reallocate your resources. When you reprioritize strategic objective, then you need to reallocate the capital allocation also. So this gives you an overview of the process of capital allocation. It is aligned with the overall strategy, and that is what is important. Next slide, please. So this is showing a graphical picture of the allocation framework. So it's a structured process that transfers high level of strategy into tangible funded initiatives. It bridges the gap between the boardroom vision and the operational reality. So the board may decide on a strategy, but then unless you fund the strategic projects, the strategy will not be executed. So there is a top-down guidance, there is a bottom-up proposals, and you actually filter these projects, and then you have an outcome which is a multi-year capital plan aligned to the value creation. Next slide, please. So, capital allocation lies at the very heart of any corporate success. For sustainable corporate success, you need to have the right amount of capital allocation. And as said earlier, that in today's dynamic business environment, our capital is finite because that is depends on how much liquidity you have in the organization, how much funds are available. So the questions to ask is, how do we deploy our current resources, where to invest, how much to invest, and why should we be investing? We need to have this clarity. And these capital allocation decision ultimately determines our competitive position, our growth trajectory, and critically the value we create for our stakeholders. So the strategic capital allocation is all about aligning our investment decisions to the strategic goals and objectives. Mihai talked a lot about alignment, and this is where once you have the strategy, you need to have your investment decisions aligned with the corporate strategy or your business strategy if you're looking at business unit level. Next slide, please. So a strategy without capital is merely a dream. Somebody said that, and that's absolutely true. You may have a brilliantly conceived strategy, but it remains theoretical if the necessary financial and resources are not allowed to bring it to life. Strategic capital allocation is the bridge between aspiration and execution. It ensures that the investments directly support companies' strategic objectives, reinforcing its competitive position and driving long-term value. Next slide, please. So, how do we identify the gaps and where the capex investments can make a difference in executing our strategy? So, connecting strategy to needs. So, we have to analyze the gap between our current capabilities and our strategic objectives. So, for example, we can asset technology infrastructure strategy. For example, the objective is to increase production capacity by 20%. In view of entry into the new market or new product launch. So there is a gap in current machinery capacity limitation. So what is the potential capex that we add a new production line? A second example could be the objective to improve customer service. So we identify a gap that we currently have an outdated CRM system. So the potential capex or potential capital investment required is a new CRM software implementation. So the focus is to identify areas where investment is required to bridge the gap between current state and our strategic ambition. So you identify your current gaps, that gap through capital investment. Next slide, please. So what is the challenge here? So the challenge is that limited capital versus numerous potential projects. So typically in a boardroom, everybody has got a lot of ideas. So marketing people will say that we must invest in brand. The production guy will say that we must um, invest in a new plant, replacement of plant. The R&D person will be saying that I need to invest in the R&D capabilities. I need new equipments, etc. The HR guys will be saying, I need to hire more capable people. The finance people will say we must implement working capital um, strategy to reduce the working capital exposure and look at opportunities to generate cash. So the finance role is to facilitate a disciplined process, ensuring strategic alignment. So there are various categories of potential investment. For example, that even to stay in the business, we have to have a maintenance uh, replacement capital. So the machinery after 5 or 10 years gets obsolete, then you need to replace it to just to stay in the business. Then there are new regulatory requirements or compliance requirements that you need to comply, and therefore there is no choice but to invest um, Then for efficiency improvement, although as per me, it's not a strategy, but even for efficiency improvement, which can generate saving, you may be doing some investment. And lastly, but most importantly, strategic growth. So there would be strategic growth projects. So new entry into new market, entry into new product line, for example. And after identifying these various projects, you need to analyze these projects in terms of strategic fit, urgency, risk management, and expected financial returns. And overall, we need to set a capex budget based on the financial capacity of the organization and its strategic needs. Next slide, please. So why is it the strategic imperative, and why the alignment matters? I think Mihai actually it said that this is the core of strategy execution, that all our decision must be aligned with our core strategy. Even investment in capital expenditure, these are long-term investments in physical assets like property, plant, and equipment, or sometimes in intangibles such as technology. And these investments are expected to generate benefits over multiple periods. So why align? It's to ensure that the finite resources are directed towards activities that are creating most strategic value. It prevents wasteful spending on projects which are disconnected from the core objectives. It supports long-term competitive advantage and sustainable growth. And finally, it maximizes return on invested capital. What are the consequences of misalignment? You may have stranded assets, missed market opportunities, inefficient operations, and erosion of shareholder value. So it is so important. It is very important that we are, first of all, clear about our strategic choices. Then, after that, our projects should be completely aligned with the strategic objectives. Next slide, please. This is a very good example. You have all heard of Apple, and most of you are using some products of Apple. So Apple's strategy is built upon innovation, premium products, and a strong ecosystem. So all their systems are kind of linked. So if you have a iPhone, it's connected to iPad, it's connected to MacBook, it's connected to their other services. So let's look at the capital allocation. So the capital allocation, because the first priority is innovation, so they have a massive R&D investment. The second is also related to innovation. So strategic acquisition, for example, the Beats Electronics, the headphone company. So that's an investment in innovation. Then significant spending on retail presence. So and because they are premium products, so they have a premium retail presence whereby you can look, feel, and the products, as well as ask questions. And most importantly, the supply chain optimization. So as you would know, that Apple outsources. So they design the products in the US, but all their products are made outside the US. So to get cost efficiencies, so they have a major plant in China and in India, the Foxconn, where they are making most of their products in these factories. So every investment decision of Apple reinforces their core strategy. Next slide, please. The second example is Amazon. I'm sure you must have ordered books and other stuff from Amazon. So Amazon strategic priorities has always been customer obsession and rapid delivery. So you are guaranteed that you'll get your orders within 1 day, within 2 days, or 3 days, whichever option you choose. So their capital allocation consistently poured into billions into building vast and sophisticated logistics and fulfillment network. These included warehouses, delivery vehicles, and even drone technology. This disciplined investment, though initially costly, directly supports the strategic goal of unparalleled customer convenience, creating a formidable competitive moat and maximizing long-term shareholder value. So, as you have noted that they have continuously invested in the technology, their platform, and their logistics network that ensures to deliver their cap and their strategy of customer, giving the customer um, the best choices and, of course, guaranteed delivery. So again, we see a very good example that the capital investments or the capital allocation is aligned with their core strategy. Next slide, please. So the strategic allocation of capital is the process of distributing an organization's financial resources to various projects, initiatives, and assets in a manner that it aligns with the overall strategic goals and maximize shareholder value. I would say that the better word is stakeholder value because uh, everybody wins. So even your vendor has to have a win-win to continue relation, and your employees have to have a win-win to have a continuing relationship with the organization. So all the stakeholders and the society and the customers have to have a win-win because they are the customers, and they will be if they get the value, they only then they will start purchasing. So, what are the tough choices when doing capital allocation decisions as to where to grow, which market, which new market, which product lines, where to defend, for example, our core business, our competitive threats, where to optimize, so cost reduction, efficiency improvements, etc., and sometimes where to divest non-core assets or underperforming units. So you'll be surprised that Unilever, where I've worked very long time, they have divested their tea business, they have divested their margarine business, and now they are also considering uh, to divest their ice cream business. So the strategy is changing. Similarly, in Novartis, where I worked, they first of all divested their OTC business, and then their generic business, and then their vaccine business, and now they're focusing on innovative drugs. So, depending on the this evolving strategy, your capital allocation is based on that, and sometimes well, these divestments are also generating a source of funds for future investments, as you'll see in my next slide.